And we are live, coming to you straight from Northern Iowa still. We'll sit here and babble for a few minutes, see if anybody wants to jump on. I'm a few minutes late, a minute late. I said 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Sorry that if I misspoke in a couple, I think on one site I said 7 Eastern. I was playing a little Fortnite at the same time. I'm trying to get it done with one of my buddies. So, yeah, I have one more week here in Iowa, at least. They're supposed to pick up my stuff either 11th, 12th, or 13th. And then I'll be heading to North Carolina. Really ready just to get this over. I finished packing basically Friday. I set a goal for myself. The show was Saturday, and I missed some shows earlier in the year because I just had stuff to do. And I said I was not going unless I got my packing done. And it is. I have one empty box still collapsed over here behind me, and one that's still got some stuff in it because you always find that one thing that you just need to put in. So I got some stuff in there that I just keep throwing in. And yeah. So in this past weekend, sorry, let me clear my throat. Got itchy all of a sudden. A little dry here. So I know there were some shows throughout this country this week. We had Chantilly in Northern Virginia. I guess Mike Baseball Collector went to one in Montana that, man, the pictures he showed looked like a pretty good show. Picked up a beautiful Mickey Mantle. If you haven't seen it, you probably want to go to his channel. And I went to one in Des Moines. They've been pushing this for like a while, 400 tables. And now I think it ended up being 200 maybe. Hopefully Andrew's on here. He was there set up. Maybe he can tell me exact number. It wasn't, small by any means. It wasn't like a mall show. It was nice size. They're growing. They had more signers this time. I do like the way they got the signers set up. There's more they could do. They don't announce who's signing. They don't even have a board up telling you who's signing and what time. That was kind of missing. But they're getting better with that. They might want to contact somebody to help with that, but they're doing better. The show floor itself, a big place for what they need, and did not like the way they had it set up. Me and my buddy that was with me that does the Pokemon cards, it's a real guy. I don't just lie about it. They put all the tables like in the middle of the floor and had all this space. And man, by like noon or 11 o'clock, it was just a kind of a single lines going through the middle part. Over 160 tables, not sure total amount. Yeah, that's probably about right. In a good mix of people, wouldn't you say? I would say you had a little bit of everything at this show. I would have liked a little bit more memorabilia, but it was a little short on that. That's what my buddy was looking for. He likes some pieces that he can put in his office. So it was kind of just a single file line going down the middle. It's okay to collect Hey, people met this guy, and hopefully the rest of y'all will meet him soon. Uh, yeah, Scott, how you doing, bud? Nice to see you tonight. So it's like a single lines, like down the middle. Pafazzi here, he was one of the tables in the middle. He had a lot of coverage, but you just couldn't like stop. You had to keep moving. I didn't take a backpack because I was not is that just a shadow or do I got stuff on my shirt? Doesn't look like I do. I guess I do. Uh but you know, we lost my train of thought. Oh, so you wanted to stop and look. I didn't take my backpack because I wasn't expecting to buy much. I didn't really buy much. I just got a couple of things that I confirmed was a guy collecting. Yeah, see, he met him. Here you go, Mike. Yep, I introduced him to him. So, yeah. uh, so that it was. I just think they could have spread it out more and made it a little bit better experience. I left kind of early because of that. The cement floor. Uh, oh yeah, I heard about that. Are you in that, Mike, for baseball? I'm sure you are. Uh, I'm sure Wesker Griff will get Trevor Bauer, first pick, first round. Uh, what channel is that on, Mike? Are y'all doing that on a channel? But anyway, I just think they could have spread it out. I got tired of the fighting inside. I did, like I said, I picked up a couple of things that I was real happy with. So I did not, in all, I have some more pickups that I've have in Iowa. So I lied on the one. Yeah, preparing to finish last after about a 4-year hiatus for fantasy. Yeah, in baseball, man, you got baseball fantasy. Is way different from football. You got to be on it every day, and if you're doing 9 or 10, like RBI, doubles, singles, hits, base, all that stuff, like different stats, man, it's tough. And you want to win all 10 categories and playing head to head or Roto's a little better. You don't do it as much, but day to day, that could be a grind, and you want to make sure you got the right pitchers in. The poles were an issue as well. They right on the corners of some of the tables. There were these big supporting poles. This is on the bottom floor of a building, and if they would have spread out, I know they were trying to fill all the tables. But once you knew where you're going to be at in tables, I don't understand why they didn't use the space. It was a lot of wasted space. I mean, tremendous amount of wasted space. I didn't understand, but it's not for me to understand. Oh, okay, yep, got you, Mike. So it's head-to-head points, which isn't as good. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, head-to-head categories. Yeah, you only got to win what 6 of them to win the week. So I'm babbling here, going in and out. I stopped playing fantasy sports a couple of years ago. When I moved to Iowa, you couldn't play for money. So I couldn't do my Yahoo or anything like that, but now you can, and I just haven't got back into it. When you took the money out of it for me, it kind of, I don't know, the fun part, because I was playing for money for years, probably better part of over a decade. So when you took that away from me, it was kind of like, why? I'm doing a job for free. What else about this? My first one, I was excited to go. I got there right at 10. It opened at 10. It was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show. It's pushed as a like a national style. They have a 3-day ticket. They have a 3-day ticket. They have a VIP area, uh, and all of that stuff. I just got the 1-day ticket. It was $15 to get in for the day, and I'm not real familiar with that part of Des Moines, and I paid $10 for the parking lot. My buddy that does the Pokemon was telling me where there was free parking. It was a little bit of a walk, but he was staying at a hotel because, better yet, his little daughter, I believe she's 6 or 7, was doing a dance competition next door. And but the good thing that the card show was doing, they went next door because it was thousands of people over there giving coupons out to all the people that wanted to come over. So they were taking $5 off for all of them. If I'd known that, I would have gone over there and at least got $5 off. But it was $25 for me to basically get in. And I have a routine. I start at the back part, work my way back up. And I remembered a couple of things. Just seeing there was this one thing I want to show real quick. Um, Early 1900s for tobacco. This was in the tobacco packages. So, I seen this, somebody else was showing this on their channel. I don't have a lot of like pre-war and all that stuff, but here it is, a Virginia. It's called a silk rug, is what I did some research, like from the Rourke, I think, tobacco or Mirock tobacco company. I was going to try to message either B Roth or Rick, Vintage Eyeball Collector, about it and get more information on it. But it's really, I, I was surprised on the shape it was in, and the price on it was not bad at all. Hey Don, how you doing? I don't know if you saw this. Do you, Don? Do you know anything on this? It's a pre-war, I think, for a Merrick Tobacco Company. They were silks that they made for major colleges at the time. Um, I was pretty cool. I was looking for some other stuff. It was over there. Tobacco Road, Go Hills. Yeah, I'll put that up, even though it saddens me a little bit. I'm not. I'm a Virginia guy, but I was kind of wanting Coach K to go out on a win. Um, he's did right by my godson. I'll tell this quick story. This is story time. So my best friend passed away a little over 8 years ago. We're coming up on the date really quick here this month actually. Um, and his son is my godson, and so they're a huge Duke family. He loves Duke. He wanted to go to Cameron to watch a game. He couldn't go, but when he was sick, they went down and they actually toured Duke and they walked around in Cameron and got to see it and the facilities and took some pictures. That's fine, Don. I was just wondering. So I he got in touch somehow with somebody there, and they sent Coach K sent my godson a full letter and a picture of that year's team. All of them autographed it to my godson. It's framed in his room. Um, it very was. I'm not a Duke fan, but I have great respect for him anyway. He graduates his kids. Uh, I used to call him the Pukies and all that, but Coach K is a hell of a guy when it comes to stuff like that. Uh, I just want to see him win, go out on a win. That'd have been nice. Um, but I want North Carolina to win for ACC over Kansas. So I'm not big on basketball. But anyway, so more back to the show. I walked around, did see this time, and my man Pafazzi over here, He'll tell you he's got wrestling himself. I saw quite a bit of wrestling at this one. I used to be big in wrestling. If you remember where my room was, I had a lot of wrestling figures behind me on the wall. Um, I was huge in the '90s, Attitude Era. Loved it. Of course, as a young child and teenager in the early '80s, when Hulk Hogan and Coco Beware and Undertaker first hit the scene. Oh, that was big. I grew up in the '70s with Mid Atlantic Wrestling and old NWA and the original WCW with original Ric Flair and the original Four Horsemen, and Von Erichs, and all of those guys. So I still love seeing some good wrestling stuff. Uh, and so that was cool to see. I almost picked up an auto. I kind of stood off from it. In hockey, there was some, not a lot, but it was some good stuff. There was uh, figures from what is it called? Mike likes to pick them up. Berrywood. Look at all the diversity up in here. Sure. I had a couple of wrestling chairs signed in a few magazines. You did. Took a look at that stuff. Uh, I got something from him. Let me show. I did pick up something from him. He had this Keith Hernandez ball, the boyfriend. That's a Seinfeld reference. I didn't have that. I just thought it was cool. I was just kind of picking up things that kind of caught me like, oh, I don't know if I'll see that again. So thought it was good. Yeah, and I did not see, it wasn't a lot of hockey, which I was kind of shocked being in hockey country. Uh, but a lot of modern, a lot of football, lot of basketball. Um, but it was other stuff in there as well. Um, that is a pretty baseball. Yeah, this man right here sold me that. Thank you very much. Love it. It's gonna be prime spot in my new apartment. Uh and I just want one little thing. I wish Ed was in here, Westergriff. Uh if you're going to negotiate prices or negotiate trades and you're doing basketball or football, yeah, they had a VIP. If you're going to be doing the football, basketball with your cool case and everything, get the hell away from the baseball section. It ain't a lot of it for me to see. I had to keep looking over, looking through arms, standing around. I was not happy about that. And and you could go with your friends, and it's two or three deep, and they're all standing there blocking the whole thing. So, uh, is that normal for a local show? Well, no, that's man, it's not. And they're trying to push this as a destination show for the future. So last year they did it the week before the national, and their thought process was the national was going to get pushed back or canceled. So they were going to try to take the spot of the national, and they had a lot of the vendors that were going to it was between the Dallas and the national. So a lot of vendors from Dallas came up to this show before they went to the national. Wasn't a lot. It was not a big show, but a small one. But this year, I didn't see a lot of those. They did have some national vendors there, but not a lot. There was a lot of local vendors. I knew a large, sorry of them. Normal. I got you, Nats, man. But they're trying to push this and get bigger and bigger. They had autograph people. They are trying to push this as a national event like Chantilly or the Dells, which I think they're not doing this year, from what I heard. Or the Dallas show. They're going to have one in the spring and the fall, the way it sounds. So, yeah, I think that's their way. And you know, they had the Sports Spectacular a couple of weeks ago, You're gonna have Spark Spectacular again. That's the one in Chicago. It's in the same venue that the National uses, but they're upstairs instead of downstairs for that show. And I talked to my buddy that's a vendor that was there. He said he did great at that. He did well at this Des Moines show. Like I said, it was packed. If there's vendors out there, I hope they know that this was a packed show and there's money to be made at this show. It stayed packed all day. I'm thinking the dance contest probably helped with that. So you know, I really don't know. I just wish they would push it out. They try to get Card Collector 2 and Frank 502. Card Collector, they might get in there, but they might have to. He's a businessman now, and Frank 502, they could probably get him to come. But Card Collector just did that show in Dallas, and he had a lot of pictures with the guys back there. They're going to have to get some more higher end stuff there than what they had, and they're going to have to get some guys there that sign that's bigger than what they had for that type of person. Ryan, Card Collector 2, he's going to come there to make deals. Now he'll swallow up some bargain boxes and stuff for his shop and things. He'll do that, but he's going to want to make some big boy purchases too. There was some of that there, but not what we're not that type. When you're talking, I bought a nice card. I was not expecting to get. I mean, got the Mario and a 7 there, SGC. I pulled a pretty good deal on that one. So I just think they're going to have to do more to get those type of people there because they're not the Dallas show, and Dallas show I don't even know, how they get all that big money in there. But I did see when I went in and paid my little $15, I pulled out my little roll, pulled out 15. The guy in front of me pulled out a zipper bag from a bank with a bank logo on it, and he had thousands and thousands of dollars in there. I was like, holy smokes, what is this dude buying in here? I just didn't see that type of stuff there. Now, was I looking for it? No. Do I skip right over basketball? Yeah. Football, I look at because if it's like a sweet Dallas card or a rookie, I got a couple of rookies from the 80s that I'm always kind of looking out for, graded. So I'm always kind of looking at the football. I don't just jump over it. But the basketball just kind of go. Now one more thing before I finish this talk about I'm sitting there eating some fries and drinking a water around lunchtime at a table. And these fellas come up with their boxes. Now, these are just a regular handgun that they cut the thing out for it to fit. So it wasn't man. So I was just like, oh, what is these kids? They were probably 18 to 20-ish, 22 age, I would guess. Old enough to die for the country, maybe not to drink. And they started talking. And I was like in awe. They were talking about $10,000, $20,000 cards. Like I'm talking about a $5 and $10 card. I was like, holy crap. And they said, oh, if this card was here, that's like 20 grand. I would see that for 20 grand. I'm buying it right now. Oh, really? Jesus Christ. First off, they really need to watch how they're talking because they were kind of loud and they were starting to create a scene. So they might want to be careful. That's for everybody out there. You don't want to talk about when you're doing that, then you're telling people I got $20,000 or what I got in my box is 20,000. And they were pulling our stuff, F1 stuff, soccer stuff. the one kid had a number to 5 Spencer Torkelson Bowman auto, and the other kid was arguing because it wasn't on card, it was sticker, and wasn't Bowman first. The kid knew his stuff, but but then they started fighting over it's not graded. If it comes back at 10, you're getting X amount, and you can't go on that. It was just kind of fun watching that generation talk and starting to get an understanding, kind of why we're in this pricing mess that we're in, how it's got kind of crazy. And I don't think they got a understanding of like, you got a Spencer Torkelson, you're talking about thousands of dollars, comma card and F1 driver, and you're not going to tell me like some of the greats and some of the biggest sports ever doesn't come to that price. And the one kid was talking about how all these F1 drivers, and he learned it because he's dealing it. So that's smart on his part. If I'm going to buy the stuff and start dealing it, I better know what the hell I'm doing. And so they know what they're doing. And you want to call them kids or whatever. Yeah, this is, saw a little bit of that too, but hell, $1,000 for a card now, that's not a big deal, is it? I mean, he probably flipped that and made more. So, that's what's up, 357. And that was, and he did, and Ed, if you watch this playback, he did have a Supreme hat on, that one kid. So I saw that, started laughing as soon as I saw it. But I was kind of wanted to get up and smack them, but also was kind of in awe of them talking about it, and just kind of explain to me where the hobby is and why. And it also showed me that these guys are just not doing it. They know what the hell they're doing. They take the time to read up. They take the time to learn about it before. So don't think you're going to go into one of these trade nights and get over on them. They probably going to get over on you. That's what I felt like. I was like, man, this has kind of passed me by. I know what lane I am in, and I'm in the right lane, in the bicycle lane. You can pass on the far left. These kids at these shows are ruthless. Yeah, and you deal with that in Dallas. Yeah, it's kind of intimidating now. You see a kid behind a table, you're like, yeah, I'm not shocked anymore when the father goes, "You need to talk to my son." That's just the way it is now, and it's to me, it's great, and we need to stop worrying about where your kids are. We need to worry about ourselves because they know what they're doing, and you're not going to fool them by giving them opening day and series one and saying, "Oh, these are for the kids." No, they want the stuff that we can't even afford. So they want flawless and dynasty and all that stuff. So I think we're okay, and I think they're okay, and it's the new norm, and just kind of got to get used to it. And I was a little shocked. There was a few tables that were way overselling blasters and uh, just mega boxes. Uh, yeah, you're right about that. 357 probably. You probably can name anybody, and they got stuff that we are just would cry over. I just I just I think, well, I lost my train of thought. Uh, Going back, it was a good show, very good show. They got better from the last show. I hope they only get better because I'll probably never be in another one of these unless it becomes really huge. Uh, I congratulate them. It's a hustle. They got a couple of more people involved. One being some hobby store, Jay's Hobby Store. If you're in the Des Moines area, I think there's 3 of them. I went to one afterwards. I've been to one before. Holy cow! Any type of hobby stuff. I bought some Star Wars stuff. Almost bought a graded Star Wars figure. Stormtrooper 1977 one. And I regretted it on my 2 hour uh 2 hour ride back. Uh Westbrook's too old for. Yeah, that's probably so. One thing with these kids, if it's not a rookie or a first Bowman from this year or last year, that's kind of past their time. They go on to the next big thing. So uh, with that, not much going on. I'm hyped. A few trades this week. Nothing crazy. Waiting on Conforto to get signed. Uh, Baseball will be starting before the end of this week. So my next Sunday night, hopefully we'll be talking about, what happened in the first weekend of the season. We got, Final Four tomorrow night is set up between uh, Carolina and Kansas. Even as a non-basketball fan, I'm not blind or stupid. That's two huge college programs in the finals of the NCAA tournament. I know North Carolina didn't have a normal North Carolina season, but it's good to have. Yeah, I know DeGrom's out. Thanks for telling me. So is Scherzer right now. So it's you know, sports is we're it's a fun time of the year, and NBA be getting gearing to the playoffs, and I think they're going to have a fun playoffs way they're doing it now. And then hockey for me, it's always fun. The playoffs, it's very intense. Crowds are rowdy. Uh, Hockey playoffs are great. And also, I know this weekend, I don't know how much of y'all even know about college baseball. Was a huge 3-game series between number 9 Vanderbilt, number 1 Tennessee. I'm eager to read about it. I didn't get to see any of the games. Tennessee has, as a team, has a below 2 ERA right now, number 1 in the country. Vanderbilt's number 9. Virginia's 5 going into the weekend. So a lot of good things going on. College softball, they're being shown a lot on television. Watch some of LSU, and it's just fun right now. I hope everybody, as a sports fan, is taking in on it. And yeah, I keep seeing the DeGrom out down in the corner that's being put. Yeah, DeGrom is out, shoulder stiffness or whatever. He looks like he's going to be out a month at least, 6 weeks, whatever. Scherzer's day to day with tightness in his hamstring or something. But they were prepared for this. They had 8 or 9 pitchers going into the season. Already had, they knew that they were going to keep, I think, a 6-man to start and 2 or 3 down in the AAA that they knew were MLB, have pitched in MLB. So they're ready to go. And they have McGill as well. So they're I don't want to say they'll be all right, but they're not. I was upset with the Mets, and I'll just touch on this real quick. And if you feel about your team, the Mets in the off season when I got Scherzer, I didn't understand that because the pitching was not their problem last year. Last year was scoring runs. So I was kind of baffled by paying all that money to a guy that had a dead arm in the playoffs. So, whatever. Anything else anybody wants to touch on? I showed off my CSG 50 card this week. It wasn't a bad return. Wasn't one of my greatest either. I had fun with that. Week late and $1 short on having the new CSG. But I'll have a PSA return probably with. I have a few SGC cards as well with it. I know that's a sacrilege to show PSA and SGC in the same one, but you're gonna have to bear with me. And next thing I know is I will be in Carolina next week. I'm hoping to have a couple of of Iowa buddies on. That's my plan. And the guy that both the guys that do the Pokemon and the one that does the CSG with me every time. So let y'all meet them and a couple of great guys that I hung out with here, sports, just talk about life and everything in general. And we might even forget you're there and bust chops on each other like we usually do. No, Nats, man. I got a 10th. I got a week left. I got 5 working days left with my schedule. I work 2, off 2, then work 3, and then I'm done. So I'll be off on Sunday, and hopefully they'll be picking up my stuff on Monday. And if it takes them a while to get there, I am going to take probably a longer road trip to get there. I'm going to stop at a couple of places, hopefully have some video, some maybe do an interview on a let's talk person to person. I don't know. We're going to see how the road takes me and just do some things that like this week I finally went and got, I don't know if y'all ever heard of Fong's Pizza out here in Des Moines. I ate there and got the crab ragoon pizza yesterday for the first time. So I can say I partaked in that while I was here. That was definitely different. Yeah, I got that. I didn't go to Des Moines when the original one. I went to the Fongs in Ankeny, which is beautiful there. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. So with that being said, I guess I'm gonna leave you on a quick one tonight since Nats Man left me all by myself. No, I'm not blaming you, Nats Man. I knew I didn't have a lot tonight. I just want to talk on the card show. Yeah, phone. Yeah, I knew you had to eat there. I knew my boy had to eat there. Yeah, and they opened it up right beside Jethro's barbecue too. So I was like, oh crap, where do I eat at? But I've ate at Jethro's since I've been here. I've never ate at Fong's. I ate at Jethro's at Drake, right across the street from Drake University when I first moved out here. So till next time, be good to each other. Have happy thoughts. Enough negativity in this world. Grade with who you want to grade. Until next time, see ya.